Good morning, my dear students. How are you all doing this morning? Great. Good to listen that you all are doing great. So, today, class, I hope you all are ready to study. Yes? Ready for the English class? Okay, I'm going to take your English class today, myself, Dilsheen Kaur, and we're going to start today with something very new and interesting. So, before I start with any lesson, I want you all to answer one question of mine. Do you think these all pictures are? Yes, very good. Modes of transport. Excellent. So, amongst these, which is your favorite mode of transport? Yes, please tell me. Okay. You like traveling on ships and boat. You want to travel. Very good. And why do you want so? Okay, you love swimming and you love staying in water. Very good. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to add up anything to this? Yes. Please tell me which mode of transport you like. Airplane. Very good. And why do you like so? Good. Very good answer. Very good. You love to be on heights. Great. Good. Good. Very good. Okay. Um, Anyone else wants to add up or shall I move forward? Yes, please. You love to travel on? Okay, trains. Good, very good. So we all are different personalities. We all like traveling on different modes of transport to different places, right? So someone likes ships, boats, someone likes trains, someone likes cars, someone likes airplanes. So we all have different choices, right? So class, amongst all of these pictures, which mode of transport do you see on roads? Yes, cars, buses, trains, bikes, two-wheelers. Yes, absolutely correct. Rickshaws. Yes, thank you so much. Yes. So we see all these modes of transports on roads. So basically, relating to road mode of transport, we will discuss one poem today, and I want you all to kindly open up your books. Yes, yes, English textbooks. Okay. Open up the poem that is related to something that we just discussed. Good. Yes, class, open up your books, Unit 2, page number 22. Poem name From the Railway Carriage, written by R.L. Stevenson. Okay, shall we start? Are you all ready? Good. Okay, so I'm reading. I want you all to kindly, very carefully listen to me. Okay? Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows the horses and cattle. All of the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again, in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. Okay? So class, now uh, we'll start with the first stanza. We will understand what the poet R.L. Stevenson is trying to tell us about his poem. Okay? Um, Please read the first stanza for all of us. Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. Thank you so much. Very good. Yes, class. So first we will understand the meaning of the first stanza. Here the poet is trying to say that he is traveling in which mode of transport? Yes, the road transport, that is train, the railway carriage. Carriage is the it is the kind of place for the passengers to sit in a particular carriage. In a particular, you see in this GIF in the screen, you see there are so many different carriages. Yes, kinds of small rooms for the train. Okay, so passengers travel in that, and huge numbers of passengers can travel in one go. So what all things the poet is observing is telling us faster than fairies, faster than witches. That means fairies, you see, fairies and witches, they have these supernatural powers. They can easily go from this place to that in fractions of seconds, right? So even faster than that, as the train was moving very fast, all of the things that poet could see were going very quickly, right? Because the train was in speed. So it's comparing it with faster than fairies, faster than witches. Then further, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches. So further it's telling us what all things the poet is observing. The bridges are coming, the houses of the people who are staying, in the houses that the train is passing from. Then hedges and ditches, we will understand this in a bit. Then further it's saying, and charging along like troops in a battle. So all of these things, the poet feels like it's going with the train, with the speed of the train, right? So when you travel in train and you see mountains, or maybe you pass through a field, so you see some continuous motion, right? So that continuous motion that you see that throughout the period of time. For example, as you can see there in the GIF, you see the mountains in the background, right? So they're just coming and going. They're just coming and going in one particular motion. So the poet is saying that it feels like the mountains, the hedges, ditches, the bridges, the houses, all of them are just going with us, right? Do you understand? And it is comparing that with like troops in a battle. Troops, that is the soldiers in the battle. Okay, so is it clear now? Further it is saying all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. Okay, we'll see some words here, the horses and the cattle. What all things did the poet observe in the first stanzas? It feels like it is faster than fairies and witches. He observes bridges, houses, hedges, ditches, and it feels like the troops in the battle. Like they are also passing with them in the battle. Like when a war starts, so all of the soldiers come together very fast. Yes, so that's why the poet has compared this with troops in the battle. And all through the meadows, the horses and the cattle. There are also horses that he observed and the cattle. So is it clear? Also class, we will see in the first, we just saw in the first stanza that the poet is comparing, okay, we will see that in a bit. First we will see the difficult words that we have here is. Now class, we'll see the difficult words, which are, the first is hedges. What is the meaning of the word hedges? Row of bushes that look like fences. So when you must have seen parks, that in the parks there are not fences like the iron metal fences. There are hedges. Those boundary of the bushes is known as, you must have seen in parks, in the boundary of the park you see hedges, that is row of bushes. I'll show you one picture. If you see here, yes, these are known as hedges. Okay, so now I'll give you one example to use this word in a sentence, and later on I want you all to kindly try one sentence using this word. Okay, so first I'll give you okay. Uh, Yesterday, my ball fell outside of the park, so I had to jump the hedge. Got it? Clear? Okay, so now you gave me one example. Very good. The hedges were very small in size. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So anyone else wants to give another example, or you want me to move forward further? Okay. We'll see another word, that is ditches. What is ditches? A long narrow furrow to enable water flow. So you must have seen, I'll show you one picture, it will be more clear. You see this a way that is being created to maintain the flow of the water. That's very narrow. If you see, it's not very broad in size, it's very narrow, and it's between just to enable the water flow. So do you see this now? Okay, I'll give you one example of the word ditches. Okay, fine. So now I'll give you one example. um, My ball fell in the ditches. Correct? Okay, now you all give me one example. Very good. Correct. Absolutely right. Today I saw fish in the ditches. Correct. Okay. So now we'll see another word, that is meadow. What is meadow? It is a very easy word. It is a big field of grass. You must have seen a big land that is, all that you can see is just little grass on the land. That is known as meadow. Okay, so I'll give you one example. Mm, okay, I'll give you one example of the word meadow. Children usually play in the meadow. Got it? Okay, so now you give me one example using the word meadow. Okay, that is also correct. I love to spend time in meadow. Very good. Correct. So students, is this clear? Or you want me to give another example of any of these words? Okay. Also class, we observed different kinds of figure of speech in the first stanza. If you see in your textbooks, we see a very, the first figure of speech we see is the okay, so you will tell me which figure of speech did we observe. If we are getting a same sound, which figure of speech would that be? Very good, alliteration. So what do you think in first stanza, which kind of sentence is repetitive? Yes, the S sound is repetitive. Ditches, fairies, witches, hedges, right? Okay. Also, class, the poet compared the faster than fairies and the faster than witches. Remember? So there, and also one more place he mentioned like troops in a battle. So here the poet is comparing things. For example, he compared the things with the troops in the battle when the houses and bridges were going. So he compared that with troops. And also he compared the speed of the train and the things going very fastly. So that he compared that with fairies and witches because they have superpowers. So which figure of speech do we do the comparison? Very good. Simile. Correct. Excellent. So is the first stanza clear? Shall we move forward now? All right. Now further, the second stanza. Someone please read that for all of us. All of the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye painted stations whistle by. Thank you so much. So class, here the poet is trying to tell us about what things also he is observing while traveling in the railway carriage, or what things he could observe by sitting in the railway carriage. So we'll see all of the sides of the hill and the plain. So while the train was going on, there were a lot of hills, as you can see in the picture, the hills and the plains, the fields, all of these things were coming and going in very few seconds because the train was, yes, the train was very fast. So then it is telling the sides of the hills and the plains fly as thick as driving rain. So further it is what telling us when you drive and it's raining. So when you are in a lot of speed, what is the texture of the droplets of the water when it's raining? Yes, it seems like it's pinching you, right? Yes, so they are very thick. So further it's telling us fly as thick as driving rain. So it's just going in fractions of seconds. The big lands, the big mountains, hills, everything is just going very quickly. Okay. Further, it's saying in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. What do we see here in the wink of an eye? That is in fractions of seconds. Do you know how much time do we take to wink our eye, blink our eye? No, right? It's just fractions of seconds. And that is what it was taking for the stations to go through, the train to go through the stations. The painted stations, like they make it very colorful so that when trains come, the train comes, the passengers, it's look to make it look attractive. So all these things were going very fast. Is it clear? Yes. Also, what are we observing here? The figure of speech we see here is simile. Where do we see this? Please tell me. Yes, fly as thick as driving rain. As word is using, so the poet is comparing that with the thick driving rain. As thick as driving rain. Okay, is it clear? Fine. Now, class, we will see the next stanza. Please read for all of us. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. He is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Thank you so much. So class, here the poet says that here is a child who clambers and scrambles. So here are two new words that we will see in some time. So he sees a child who is doing who clambers and scrambles, and also you can say while he is while he is looking out of the train, the greenery what he sees, it feels like a child, and the child is clambering and scrambling. So we'll see that in a bit. Then further, all by himself and gathering brambles. Here also we have a new word that we will see. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes. So what is a tramp here? Tramp is the beggar that he meets in the train when this train stops at the station. So here is a tramp, the beggar, who stands and gazes. So it stands for a moment and started gazing the poet. What is gazing here? That is looking someone for a longer period of time, and by looking at the tramp, the beggar, it was the poet was feeling like he needs a help. Okay. Then further it is saying, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. So further what he sees outside the train, that it's all greenery everywhere, and he sees the daisy flower stringing in the air, in the fields. Okay. Is the paragraph clear? Shall we move forward to the difficult words? Okay. Okay, now we will see the difficult words of this stanza. There were so many. First, we will see clambers. That means to climb in an awkward way. Someone who is, climbing in a very different kind of position. I will show you one picture. See, in this picture, the lady is climbing in a very awkward way, right? So that is what is clambers. Okay, clambering, clambers. So I'll give you one example of this. Mm, my friend always clambers whenever we visit a forest. Okay, so how did I use this in a sentence? Okay, now you all give me one example of using the word clambers. She laughed on her friend while she clambers. Okay, correct answer. So students, now we'll see the next word, that is scrambles. What is scrambles? To move somewhere quickly. I'll give you one example of this. Those who eat eggs, um, when you make scrambled eggs, why is it called scrambled? Because it cooks very quickly, right? When you move it here to there in a pan, it cooks very quickly. So I'll give you one example of this. Move somewhere very quickly, scrambles. Um, she scrambled up to the chair. That means she very quickly got up to the chair. Okay. Now you all give me one example using the word scrambles. Don't scramble, you will get hurt. Excellent answer. Very good. Okay, now we will see the third word, brambles. It is a prickly shrub. That means it is, you can get hurt while you touch that. A prickly shrub, that is with the fruit that is berries on it. Okay, so I'll give you one example using this word. Mm, brambles is healthy food for humans as well as for wildlife. Got it? Now you all give me one example. You see here that is a prickly shrub with berries on it. Excellent answer. Very good. So students, anyone else wants to answer or shall we move forward now? Also, okay. Also class, while we are studying these new words, we got so many new words today, right? So make a note of it, and it is a very positive thing, I think, for all of you that you're getting these new words to learn. And also I want to say that if you learn these words and you use these words in your daily life, it will definitely make an effective manner of communication. Whenever you communicate in English language, it is going to make your communication effective. Okay. All right. So now we'll move forward. All right. Now we'll quickly move on to the last stanza. Please read that for all of us. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. Thank you so much. So class, here the poet is trying to tell us about the poet is here concluding the poem, and it's saying that here is a cart, the cart that you see in the railway station, which the coolie takes the care of and uses it for the luggage purpose. Yes, that cart is what the poet is talking about here. Run away in the road, road as in not the actual road but on the platform road. Then it's saying lumping along with man and load. So here we have a new word, that is lumping. Carry a heavy load somewhere with difficulty. So the coolies, whenever you see, they are having usually carrying a big load on their head, their shoulders, their arms, right? So that is what the poet has observed, that he was lumping along with man and load. As you can see in the picture, how the coolie is carrying the bags and the suitcase above his head and in his shoulder, on his shoulders and arms. That is what the poet has observed. Then further it is saying, and here is a mill and there is a river. Further it's saying, in sometimes he's looking at a mill passing by. Then on the other side, if he sees a river going alongside the train. So all these things that the poet has observed, and the concluding part he's saying, each a glimpse and gone forever. So that the fractions of seconds that the visions he saw about the bridges, about the mills, about the hills, about the plains, about so many things that he observed, they all were just a glimpse, like we just saw in the previous stanza, and the wink of an eye when he says that is all, just that all was gone in fractions of seconds, right? Because the train was in speed. So that is why it's saying each a glimpse. All of those sights were a glimpse, that now it is gone forever. And that is how the story ends. So now I will give you one example of using the word lumping here. Uh, the coolie was lumped with bags. Okay, got it? Or you can say the coolie was lumping the bags. Got it? Okay, now you all give me one example using the word lumping. Very good. Excellent, students. Anyone else wants to answer, or shall we move forward? Okay, we'll move forward now. I hope you all have understood the poem. Is there any doubt? Please ask. Okay. As you all were not having any kind of doubt, so now I will see how much you all have understood the poem. So we'll take a quick recap, and I'm going to ask you 3 questions and you have to answer them correctly. First question, that is, what is the name of the poet? Yes, correct. R.L. Stevenson. Very good. Okay, now we'll see the second question. What all scenarios did the poet observe? What did the poet observe? Hills. Yes. Mills. Very good. Then mountains, hills, plains, the coolie lumping the bags, then the beggar, tramp. See, very good. So many things the poet observed. Right. Third question, what do you mean by in the wink of an eye? Correct. Very good. In fractions of seconds. Very quickly something which happens. So students, I hope you all have noted down these answers in your notebooks, and please make a note of it that while you note all the answers, please note it very neatly, because not only for the exam purpose but also in real life, also in your daily life, it is a good habit to make your things or organize your things very neatly. All right? Okay. Now class is the fun time. We will quickly play a quick and energizing game. So are you all excited like the boy on the screen? Okay, great, great. So now class, I'll be clicking. Once I click on this, click here for game. This click, we will be redirected to the game. Okay, so now class, we have been redirected to the game, and as soon as I will play, click on this play button. You have to be very quick and answer. You need to find these words. Come on. We get scrambles, lumping, clambers, and brambles. Come on, quickly. Quickly find. Okay, thank you. Scrambles we got. Very good. Next, any word you find, lumping or any other word, brambles. Yes, class, quickly, come on. I know you all are very quick. Lumping. Yes, correct. Thank you. Now we're left with 2 more words, that is clambers. Excellent. We got clambers. Now we're just left with the word brambles. Quickly help me find that, please. Correct. Absolutely right. We got brambles. You win. So class, seems like you all enjoyed a lot during the game, right? Good, that's great. Also, we enjoyed, but side by side, we got so many new words and we learned so many new words. Correct. So class, time for your homework. Please note down in your notebooks that all the new words that we discussed today, you need to write all of them in your notebook. Write the meaning of that and also write um, two examples of sentence of each word. Okay? Is the homework clear to all of you? Please note it down very neatly in your notebooks. As I told you, you need to be organized. Okay. So class, this was my session, my class with you all. I hope it was informative enough. We are done with the poem from the railway carriage, and tomorrow we will do something new. Thank you so much.